Welcome to the Forensic Financialist, where we simplify business and leadership challenges and choose the road that leads to wisdom and excellence. We discuss tough issues facing business and figure out easy-to-implement solutions. Using the rearview mirror approach, we look in the rear view to move towards a brighter future. Here's your host, Jeff Newkirk.
Welcome to the Forensic Financialist. I'm your host, Jeff Newkirk. Remember, this is the podcast where we discuss business issues and develop understandable solutions for you. My goal is that you, the listener, come away with at least one nugget of useful information. So here we go. Today we have another awesome guest, Toni Harris Taylor, and she will knock your socks off. Her mantra is drastic, and I can't wait to hear what that means. Toni is a speaker, author, trainer, and facilitator. She is more than a survivor. She thrived. From losing over 90 pounds twice, wow, very impressive, to being a two-time widow, so sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
To starting college at age 43 to obtain her bachelor's and master's degrees while nursing her husband, to surviving a 10-day coma. My goodness. Toni truly knows what it means to be drastic. She has personally grown her business internationally by connecting with other entrepreneurs all over the world, and she teaches her clients to take drastic steps to get drastic results in their business. As an international speaker and certified marketing and sales coach and author of 5 business books, my goodness, she teaches entrepreneurs how to get known, get connected, and most importantly, get paid. Toni's biggest passion is connecting business owners, which is why you should partner with her. I would agree. She loves watching her introductions flourish into life and business changing drastic results. As a franchise owner and community builder with Network in Action, she gets to live her business why and help her clients to grow and create their dream business. Toni knows that relationships lead to revenue, and when she gives her clients the confidence they need to increase their relationships, it changes their business not only now, but for generations to come. And very importantly, Toni is married to Gary and has 2 adult children, 3 stepchildren, 7 grandchildren, an amazing mother and mother-in-law, and a dog named Blue. Love the dog's name. How'd you come up with Blue?
So, first of all,
welcome, Toni. Welcome.
Thanks for having me,
It's so
Jeff.
great to have you here.
And every time I hear my own bio, I'm like, well, wow, she's amazing.
You are amazing. You are amazing. And like I said, you are going to knock our socks off.
Let's have some fun.
Absolutely.
So I married Blue. Gary and I have been married for 5 years. When he told me he had a dog, I was like, oh, I don't do dogs. And he has a pit bull, and he's about 120 pounds. And on some days, I like Blue better than Gary. So there you go.
Well, I love the name. So drastic, Toni. What does that mean? Tell us what does drastic mean? Why is that your mantra?
Drastic is my mantra. It's my brand. It's on my license plate. And I'm still shocked that I'm pretty much the only one in the world that's talking about getting drastic. You know, when people get drastic, they typically are at the end of their rope. They are, they need to make a drastic change or else. Mm-hmm. And when I embraced the word and I started doing my Google searches on it, I'm like, every other speaker, coach, author, trainer is talking about taking baby steps. And yes, baby steps are important because at least you're moving and you're not stuck. But at some point, you got to pull the trigger. You got to jump.
Can't be complacent.
You got to
leave.
Can't
stand still. You got to make the move.
And so what drastic means for me is a mindset in life and business. And let's be clear, Jeff, there's only one life. So you can't separate business from life. It is what it is. And at some point, people have to get drastic, especially entrepreneurs. Just being an entrepreneur is drastic, right?
Absolutely. And especially during a pandemic, right?
Especially during a pandemic. So that's what Drastic's all about. It's a mindset that translates to results, because you got to get out of your own way and do the things you need to do to serve the people you need to serve so that everybody wins.
I love that. Drastic. Wonderful. So tell us about Drastic Results now. And how did you get started in that business?
You know, everything is evolution, right? Part of my Drastic Results story that is not in the bio is that I spent 14 years in financial services. I was recruited from training at a financial insurance company, invited to move from Texas, from Houston to Florida, promised the world, when you get here, you're going to make six figures in 6 months. Now, I have no experience in financial. I have no sales experience, but, you know, I was promised the world. And when I get to Florida, move my family, buy a new house, you know, I'm doing my stuff up front. So I already got a contract on a new build home. 10 days after getting there, I find out all the promises were a lie. Not a malicious lie.
That's so frustrating. I mean, that happens all the time. And
they see, you know, it wasn't a malicious lie. Yeah. But it was like, we got to get her. So we're going to tell her whatever she needs to hear to get here.
Whatever it takes to get Toni.
Say it again.
Whatever it takes to get Toni.
So I get there. This was June of 2000. So the stock market.com bubble burst. I'm just now passing the test. I don't know anything about sales. Didn't pay any attention to the market in the 90s when it was soaring. And I get there and I find out the territory they promised me doesn't exist. So I had to start driving. I drove 5 counties in Florida. I drove 36,000 miles. It was a payroll deduct. I was getting people enrolled in a payroll deduct investment program. And I would take $10 applications. That
36,000 miles is that's a lot of driving.
That's a lot of driving. So remember in the bio, it says I lost 90 pounds twice. Well, right before I had taken that job, I lost the 90 pounds. Get to Florida, I'm fabulous and fine and fit. But then driving 36,000 miles, what happened to my weight? I gained everything back plus 10 pounds.
Oh boy.
Because I'm stressed. I'm, dealing with life, trying to make it happen, driving through 36,000 miles.
And no time to really take care of yourself, right?
Exactly. So I gained all the weight back plus 100 pounds. But it taught me a lot. And I ended up being very successful. And they tapped me on the shoulder to be a manager. So I went into management. And in case you don't know, the investment world is still white male dominated. And so here I am. In case you can't see, I'm a little brown girl. Managing the people who saw my come up, saw my struggles. Now I'm their manager. So that's where Drastic Results.
Challenge.
Yeah. So all of that plays into my Drastic Results story. And then once I decided to leave the industry, move back to Houston and start my own thing, I reflected on that story. And that's
Perseverance,
what Drastic was. Oh, please. Perseverance is my middle name. It's not Harris. It's Toni Perseverance Taylor. Toni Overcoming Obstacles Taylor. I'm like, God, please stop making me prove myself.
Like enough already, right?
Oh, shoot.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, and man, it must have taken a lot of self-discipline to go through what you did. And not just, I'm not just talking about the weight loss, but the business and becoming a manager and that perseverance. How did you do it? What did you, what was the go-to every day for Toni to make it through and to keep going?
Of course, my spirituality. I'm not afraid to say that Jehovah God is really in control and I have to lean on him. And people say that, and I think, but what did you do? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in my coma, the doctors had said I wasn't going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother said, "You don't know my daughter. You don't know my daughter." She said, "You do your part, God will do his part, and she will do the rest."
Mm-hmm.
There's something in me, and it's I've sat on the couch. Look, I've laid on the couch. So I've done the work. My childhood has a lot to do with, I grew up in an abusive home with a alcoholic stepfather, absent biological father. And it taught me a lot about having to rely on myself.
Mm.
And
you're a strong person.
Yeah. Thank you.
Not just determined, but strong and so inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you. So when people work with me, when they hire me, they know they have to get drastic, especially once they hear my story. Mm-hmm. And I don't tell these stories often, but once they hear about all the things that I've overcome, they're like, okay, if we're going to hire her, we can't mess around because she's
no. You will knock your socks off.
You like that phrase. I'm going to have you write me a testimony with knock your socks off in it.
So tell us now about Network in Action. How did you get started with in the networking business?
So thank you for asking that question. So the one thing that I learned through all my journeys is it's not what you know, it's who you know. So remember my financial story, I had no degree. I'm still a brown woman in a white male dominated world. And I was making $180,000 with no degree.
That's impressive.
How does that happen? Well, it happened because of relationships. I've done every personality assessment there is, and they all come back to, thank God he made me this way. I'm relationship driven.
I was going to say, let me guess, introverted, detail oriented, likes to work in front of a computer all day long, right? No.
Steve Harvey, you get the
opposite.
I'm all driven by relationship. But I didn't know how to network, and because there is still an art to networking. It's Absolutely. Not just, being bold enough to talk to people. It's really about caring about other people first.
And getting them engaged so they want to talk with you.
That's right. And helping them to, and so I hired a coach who taught me how to network properly. And that was in 2005. I've been investing in coaching since 2003. So she taught me how to network properly. So I took what I learned from her and magnified it. I knew I wanted to be once I left financial services and started my own business, I knew I wanted to be a keynote speaker. I knew I wanted to be a global speaker. I learned how to use technology to connect with people. I was Zooming before Zoom was cool. Okay. I bought my own URL in 2014.
I don't know that Zoom is cool anymore. I think we're zoomed out.
Zoom, though, is amazing. And the smartest thing I did was I bought their stock March 15th.
Wow. I wish I would.
I apologize. I got to get this
February.
Yeah, exactly. I should have bought it in February, but March 15th, I bought Zoom stock, and I'm so happy
I'll
I
bet
had
you
the
are.
vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Any
anyway,
other tips that we need to know?
let me see. Let me
Any
get my
other
crystal
Zoom?
ball out.
Sure.
No, I got nothing
All
right this
right.
minute.
All right.
So I don't know what your question was, but I'm just talking.
Network in action.
Network in action. So
Getting into
anyway,
the
thank you.
networking business.
So in 2019,
I knew we were going to have fun, Toni.
I knew you knew we would. So in 2019, I said, I need to figure out, I need to do one of two things. And this is really important because entrepreneurs, sometimes we always are second guessing what we're doing, especially when we create our own brand, our own products. And so it's like, I need to retire?
Mm-hmm.
Or I need to at least have things in place in case I want to retire. I don't think I'll ever fully retire.
No.
So I said, but as a coach, Drastic Results, that's all me. I can't sell that, And so I started talking to my coach and she said, well, what is it you're looking for? What is it? What's your why? She said. Mm-hmm. And I told her, she said, girl, you've already accomplished that why. You need a new why that will inspire you and others. So she said, go pretend you have no business. And what really is your why? That's hard to do, by the way, to pretend you don't have a business or knowledge and come back. Mm-hmm. And so I went and did the work. And I came back and I said, my why is to touch, move, and inspire my clients to take drastic steps to be better than they were before they met me. I'm a resource. I'm a connector. I want to help people build deeper relationships that are beneficial to their life and business. She said, oh my gosh, that's perfect for you. Are you doing that? I said, yes. She said, are you getting paid to do it? That was a loaded question.
Yeah.
I said, well, when I speak, when I coach, touch, move, and inspire people all the time, yes, I get paid for that. She said, what about connecting people? She said, what would you need to do to get paid to connect people? I said, I would need to start my own networking group. She said, why don't you? I said, oh no. Oh no. I said, I've seen too many people run networking groups. They don't make any money. It takes a lot of time from their primary business. No.
About business.
Mm-hmm. She said, Toni, don't worry about the how. If that is truly your why, it will show up. I said, girl, please, clicked end on the meeting and was done with that conversation. I was not starting a networking group. So that was July 2019. In April 2019, I went to a women's retreat, and there was a woman there who's a franchise owner with Network in Action. She said, oh my God, with what you do, you should own a Network in Action franchise. I'm like, I'm in BNI. What's NIA? She told me, I was like, franchise, that sounds like a lot of money. And this is right when I'm contemplating getting a job for a retirement plan. Not because I wasn't making money, but I needed the retirement plan. Mm-hmm. I said, franchise sounds like a lot of money. And girl, I'm frankly thinking about getting a job so I can retire. She said, no, don't get a job. I'm going to connect you to the founder. I said, okay, now I teach networking, Jeff. Mm-hmm. So what I teach is when you meet someone interesting, you book an appointment on the spot.
Right away. Yes.
I spent the whole day with this lady and did not book an appointment. And she didn't follow up with me like she said she would until 1 week after, 3 months later, after the conversation with the coach. Don't worry about the how, it will show up. Toni, I haven't forgotten about you. I forgot about her. I still think you should be an NIA franchise owner. I said, oh my God, a week ago, I just said I can't do networking. She said, it's a 6-figure business opportunity. I was like, And the rest, as they say,
Say that again. Good for you. Good for you.
I love NIA. It is everything my why is.
Mhm.
And I get to help people to grow. So let me give you a couple of successes.
Good.
I started NIA in September. We ran our first meeting with 12 members in October. I was the fastest launching to date of any other.
Last September
2019.
Okay, so just before the pandemic.
Just before the pandemic.
Okay.
My members, they joined. Of course, they started building relationships. So one major success is during the pandemic, you're a member of NIA, so,
Yep,
community service is a big deal. So my NIA came together and wrote a book together called Strategic Entrepreneurship. If I had
That's
thought about
impressive.
it, I would hold it up to the camera, but I don't even see it here.
So what is it again? What's it called?
Strategic Entrepreneurship.
Strategic Entrepreneurship. Stories
of perseverance, overcoming perseverance and dedication.
Okay.
And
Very
so
good.
They all told their story about how they became an entrepreneur, why they stay in the game. It's a beautiful book. In fact, Jeff, I'll have to send you one.
Yes, please.
That was during COVID. January, a few months later, I met a lady who now produces my TV show. Oh yeah, I'm a TV show talk host now as well. So y'all have to tune in to my show, Drastic Results with Toni Harris Taylor. That's the Facebook.
And I've seen it. Very impressive. Very impressive.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. So I met that lady in September of last year. She moved into she set up a co-working type space, and 8 of my members they moved out of their home-based office into a physical office. My members take drastic steps.
I would think they'd have to almost.
Yeah, they do. And when they don't, and honestly, I'm going to be honest, when they don't take drastic steps, when they are, I got to pull them along. I actually, I ask them not to keep either take the steps or because
get with the program.
Get with the program. Yeah. But my NIA is more than networking. It's changing lives.
Sounds like it.
Changing mindsets, changing lives, making them an author.
Yeah, that's impressive. Very
right.
Impressive.
They didn't sign up for that. They signed up to network.
Yeah, they just wanted to meet other business owners.
They just want it's way beyond. Several of my members are now international speakers because that was their dream. They when people tell me their dream, I'm gonna connect you to the people to make it happen.
That is wonderful. So out of all of these accomplishments, Toni, what are you most proud of? And there are a lot of accomplishments. I know you've had challenges, you've persevered, but man, you've done a lot.
That's a pretty loaded question. Out of all the things.
You could have more than one.
I'm just proud of that I didn't quit entrepreneur. I was seriously looking for a job.
Think of all those people that you've helped that would have not been the beneficiary of all that you've done if you had not been an entrepreneur.
That's the thing I'm most proud of. I had 2 jobs. The relationships was there. And one of the jobs I totally blew it. And when I got to
That's
my
hard
car,
to believe. I can't believe that.
No, because it was divine. The interview was in July. Remember, the conversation with that coach was in July. And I think if I think back, it was the week between. I have to go back to my calendar, but I think it was the week between me having the conversation with my coach and Helen calling me that I had the interview. And during the interview, I said something so stupid that I even yelled at myself. You ever do that? When you get in the car, you yell at yourself like, what the heck was you thinking?
Absolutely.
I do it every day. Job. And it was like, and the hiring VP came to me and said, Toni, why did you say that? I was like, I don't know. And now I do know. I was not supposed to have the job. I was
divine intervention.
Yep. That's the thing I'm most proud of, because I now get to touch, move, and inspire so many people with network and action. Wonderful. And we just got started. We just got started.
So now with the pandemic, and hopefully we're getting towards the end, hopefully, but it has really been difficult for people, right? Sure. Especially with networking. What suggestions do you have for those that are really struggling with the pandemic and not sure how things are going to end up for them?
Join a networking group, a referral networking group, not just networking. Mm-hmm. Community is everything for an entrepreneur. The reason that these people are taking these drastic steps, moving out of home offices, and not me, it's the community. Come on, girl, you can do this. Mm-hmm. So support, guidance, relationships. They can introduce you to the people, places, and things that you need to know so you won't fail. Mm-hmm. And that's why and keep showing up. That's the other. That's my mantra right there. The first drastic step is to show up. So now we're virtual, right? All our meetings, all of our networking and stuff is virtual. We're getting out of it now slowly, but mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many virtual calls I've been on and people won't turn their camera on. They don't you don't put your lipstick on, Jeff. You got to put your lipstick on so people will want to connect with you.
Yeah, if they can't see you. I mean, it's one thing just to be virtual, but to not have your camera on. Well,
so you're not showing up. Don't show up. Don't come.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So the first thing I would tell them is to show up, but show up in a big way. Ask a question. Say who you are and what you do with confidence. And then help other people. Right. Connect with other people. Help them to grow. I interviewed with someone else recently, and I said, and I believe this, if every entrepreneur was intentional about connecting everybody to 10 people, I'm intentional about connecting you to 10 people, mm-hmm. everybody wins. But so many entrepreneurs are in their head, they're in their silo, they're by themselves, they have no community, they don't know what they don't know, and they don't show up to find out what they don't know, mm-hmm. and then they wonder why they're struggling.
And I think for many, it's fear. It's fear of maybe not getting that approval, not making that connection, not getting the success, and boy, the fear when it just gets in the way. I mean,
and let me say this: I'm fearful.
Well, we all are. Absolutely,
we all are. And I acknowledge the fear, and then I set it to the side, and I move forward anyway.
And sometimes it takes time to set it aside. You have to. It's a growing process. Boy, there have been lots of times in my life I've been fearful, and it's taken time to get through that. But I just keep thinking to myself, fear. Might as well just not even think about it getting any results. So forget ever achieving results. That's what fear is.
I love that. I'm going to have to borrow that.
Absolutely. Forget ever achieving results.
I'm writing it down right now. See?
Awesome. So now what's next for Toni Harris Taylor? So many accomplishments. Seems like you just got life by the tail. Nothing but goodness ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I receive that. I got to get my show out. The purpose of the show is to touch, move, and inspire entrepreneurs to stay in the game. So what's next is to have the world know drastic results. When they hear the word drastic, my face, my name comes into their mind. When they think small business influencer, they think of me. And so what's next is to get this show where I have 1 million viewers.
That is a great goal.
That's the goal.
1 million viewers. So
I got 2 right now. Can you be number 3, please?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not one of the first 2. Wow.
No, the first 2 is my mama and my daughter.
All right.
I don't even think my husband is one of the 2. So can you please be
Absolutely.
number 3 for me?
Absolutely will. No question about it, Toni. Yes. Wow, we had a great time. I'm so glad that you were here. What is the one thing that you want people to remember you, other than the drastic results and drastic, your mantra? What's the one thing that you want people to take away from this?
You got to always show up. You just got to show up no matter what, no matter what's going on in life. We all have a personal pandemic, whether it's a global pandemic or a personal one. You got it. I don't care. You know, when I came out of my coma and I was devastated, like it happened overnight. I wasn't sick. I woke up with a stomach ache and ended up having to have emergency surgery and sepsis set in.
Oh,
so I was not sick at all. So when I wake up and they tell me I've been asleep for 10 days, I'm stunned. How do you come out of that and have the best year ever financially? Because I kept showing up, because I'd already built a network. The first thing I remember my daughter saying to me is, "Mom, you're a celebrity. I've been getting calls from all over the world wondering where you are. How are you?" And I was like, and she said, "I didn't get no sleep." I'm thinking you shouldn't have been sleeping if I was in a coma. But anyway.
That's a separate issue.
That's a separate conversation. So show up, even if you're going through a personal pandemic, no matter what.
There you have it. Toni Harris Taylor, show up. Thank you so much for spending time. And how can people learn more about you and get in touch with you?
Every connection, everything I have, if you want to meet with me, want to talk about coaching, want to talk about being a guest on my show or Network in Action. I am helping the brand to grow nationally. So if you're in a different city than Houston and you want to explore bringing Network in Action to your city, drasticresults.com. It's all on the slide here.
Drasticresults.com.
Text me at 713-387-9273.
Wonderful. Toni, thank you so much. Another great episode. And I do hope everybody, it's possible that they didn't receive at least one nugget of valuable information. I know I got a lot out of our conversation today. Contact me, though. I want to know what you, the listener, got out of today's show. And just email me at jeff@understandablesolutions.com, or you can visit my website at understandablesolutions.com. Let me know what that one thing is, and I will provide to you a 60-minute executive coaching session, complimentary. So I hope to hear from you. Again, great episode. Toni, thank you so much. Until next time, I hope today is a great one and tomorrow even better. Peace, everyone.
Bye.
You've been listening to The Forensic Financialist, where we simplify business and leadership challenges and choose the road that leads to wisdom and excellence. To learn more about Jeff, visit his website at understandablesolutions.com or email Jeff at jeff@understandablesolutions.com. Mentioning this podcast will get you a complimentary discovery session with Jeff. Until next time.